Has Fernando Mendoza sewn up the Heisman Trophy after leading Indiana to its first 12-0 season? They are 13-0, and the first time in school history they are the number one ranked team in the country after defeating the previous number one ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. He's got stiff competition in Julian Sayin, Jeremiyah Love, and Diego Pavia. Let's talk about it. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Who will win the Heisman Trophy? Is it going to be Julian Sayin, Diego Pavia, Jeremiyah Love, or Fernando Mendoza? Let's start with Julian Sayin. The Ohio State quarterback has set the single season record for completion percentage in a season at 78.4%. It's a full point better than the previous mark set by Bo Nix. He was a Heisman finalist for the Oregon Ducks just a couple of years ago. Bo Nix had a great year that year. Dylan Gabriel followed up by making that team the number one team in the country, getting him a number one seed, a Big Ten championship. Julian Sayin led Ohio State to its first 12-0 regular season since 2019. He did it as a redshirt freshman. Ohio State had been on a run of 16 consecutive wins and 7 straight wins against ranked opponents. Perhaps the knock against Julian Sayin is that he's got the two best weapons you could ask for in the sport in Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate on the outside. Brandon Ennis was good. Max Clare was a little bit better. That offensive line did a great job. They gave up just 11 sacks through 13 games, just 6 in the regular season, but 5 against Indiana. And going into that game in the Big Ten Championship, number 1 versus number 2, first time we've seen number 1 versus number 2 since Tennessee, Georgia in 2022. The thought there was the quarterback on the winning team will win the Heisman Trophy because they're just that good. I think that's really where we're landing with Fernando Mendoza. But before we get to Mendoza, let's talk a little bit about Diego Pavia, who has done something that has never been done before. He led Vanderbilt to a 10-win season, and he did it with a winning record in the SEC for the first time since the SEC extended its membership in 1990, somewhere in there. Vanderbilt, who had been a doormat in this league for the better part of 100 years, like them winning 9 games was a lot to write home about. 10 in the regular season, going 10-2, narrowly missing the playoff, which sucks because they had a great season. But also Diego Pavia had an outstanding season. He had over 3,100 yards passing, 27 passing touchdowns. That's best in school history. He is a better quarterback than Jay Cutler. Full stop. It's not close. He also has a chance to be a 3,000-yard passer and 1,000-yard rusher if he plays in the bowl game, which I hope that he will, to get Vanderbilt its first 11-win season. They're a team like Notre Dame, like Utah, like BYU, that had every right to be angry that they were not selected by the committee for the college football playoff because they had a resume that was good enough. Their losses were Alabama and Texas. Right. While Texas beat Vanderbilt, they're also 9-3, and that loss to Florida really, really hurt them. Vanderbilt suffered no losses like that. Their losses were to good competition, ranked competition, and Diego Pavia was the straw stirring the drink the whole damn time, especially here late. Like the game he had against Auburn, phenomenal. The game he had against Tennessee, phenomenal. And he's a really fun guy to root for. He'll say a lot of things. He'll do a lot of things. He counts Johnny Manziel as a mentor, which might be a good thing for some, not necessarily a good thing for me. But, you can do that at Vanderbilt. You can do that in Nashville, where he will never have to pay for another drink because he's been that important to their school history. And they're ranked, and it doesn't feel out of place for them to be ranked. They're right where they should be. He could win the Heisman Trophy on the strength of what he did at Vanderbilt and his charisma. That would be enough. Like, I went from making jokes about Vanderbilt just a couple of years ago to not only them earning my respect, but I have nice things to say about not their football team. For instance, I learned last year after they beat Virginia Tech that if your family makes less than $150,000 a year and you get into Vanderbilt, they will cover your tuition. And that changed my mind about Vanderbilt forever. You want to get to me, you put kids through college and don't have them owing a dime. That'll do it. because college is a tremendous burden for those of us that are not fortunate enough to go to school on scholarship and are paying full price just to get our education. Myself, I'm one of these people. I walked on the track team, scholarship athlete as a cheerleader, and I ended up doing both. And I worked 2 jobs while going to school. I finished my senior year with back-to-back 18-hour semesters. I was up for 20 hours a day, and I still managed a 3.8 GPA that last year. But that was also because I need to get the hell up out of here and on with my life. And paying those loans sucks. And if you can't play big-time college football, you're probably going to have to pay those loans. You don't at a place like Vanderbilt if your family can't afford it. And mine would have been one of those families that could not afford it. Had these programs been around when I was in school and I'd been able to take advantage of them, I would. Not paid for by Vanderbilt University. Another guy we got to talk about, who I think in most years will probably win the Heisman Trophy. As a matter of fact, maybe 15 years ago would have won the Heisman Trophy. Jeremiyah Love. Outstanding year. 1,372 yards rushing. The dude averaged 6.89 yards per rush. That's gaudy, guys. Like, it sucks that they're done playing football for the rest of the year because it's pad statting. But, like if he goes for another 150 yards, 1,500-yard rusher. I mean, like that's cool. And he's the best player on that team. And frankly, it would have been fun to watch him once again in the college football playoff. He has more all-purpose touchdowns than Jerome Bettis. He's got 21. Best running back far and away in the sport this year. And whatever NFL team gets a chance to go get him is going to be very happy. I was excited to watch him play. I enjoyed watching Notre Dame's run game, and I enjoyed watching it work in a pro-style offense with C.J. Carr, who I think is going to be a Heisman candidate next year. They got boxed out of the college football playoff. They're mad about it. They took their ball and they went home. Pete Vivekwa said some not nice things about the ACC. The ACC said, hey, we didn't do that. You kind of did. Because Miami's did. And when it comes to Miami versus Notre Dame, you're going to pick the team that's part of your conference as a football member. Notre Dame wants the same treatment as Miami. Join the conference. Otherwise, go home. I mean, Notre Dame is a billionaire that cuts their own lawn. They can afford to do this stuff. So they do. So they're angry about it. Okay, be mad. We'll play football. I don't like the way that Notre Dame gets down anyway. They are quite literally the one elitist in our entire sport, and we allow it. What if we didn't? What if we just decided, okay, Notre Dame, go play against yourself. Have a bunch of blue and gold games. See who comes to attend them. Like everybody's got to schedule them because everybody wants the money that comes from scheduling them. But the point is the same, right? Nobody has to like what you're doing. And just because you don't like the way the college football playoff process worked out that one time didn't go your way, now you want to get mad about it? Hell up out of here. That might actually hurt Jeremiyah Love, frankly, because people will use that as an opportunity to dunk on Notre Dame. I wouldn't. That's not what I would do. I think he's pretty great. But then again, I know who my 3 finalists are. And Jeremiyah Love ain't that dude, not this year. Because this guy, Fernando Mendoza, crashed the party, man. A guy that has been bubbling toward the top of the Heisman conversation off and on for some time. And if you ever hear Fernando Mendoza speak, you'll get it. Pat Forty wrote a column that called him Senator Fernando Mendoza. And I think in years ago, that would have been a compliment. Today, not so much. Tommy Tuberville's a senator. Is he good at it? Who could say? Could you say? Maybe you would in the comments below. But Fernando Mendoza is well-spoken. He treats every question with respect, and he adds his charisma to it. You can see how his parents raised him has really come up. I can't believe I just said that. I'm old as hell, man. Unc out here making DBZ references and talking about how his parents raised him. Just the white in my hair is beginning to show. I like Fernando Mendoza. I like talking to him. I like learning about him. Dude went to a Jesuit school, then went to Christopher Columbus, then went to Cal, then ended up in Indiana. And oh, by the way, give them the best season they've ever had after the best season they ever had. 13-0. They beat the number 1 ranked team in the country, and it's Ohio State. So everybody watched that freaking game because Ohio State, as you know, has a tremendous alumni base, and they are rabid about it. And all they had to say about Fernando in Indiana after the fact was, good game, dog. Y'all beat us straight up. Normally, if something went bad, Ohio State fans would tell you about it. Respect for this team. they can't wait to see them again. They want to do it better. They want to run it back because they understand they gave Fernando Mendoza everything that they had, and that dude stood up in it, threw a touchdown pass to Charlie Becker that ended up being the difference in the game. What else can you ask for? Is it a Heisman moment? No, that was Omar Cooper against Penn State, who didn't get to play in the Big Ten championship game, by the way. And now they are 3 games away from winning the national championship. Yeah, that dude's probably going to win the Heisman Trophy.